Hello class 10th. In this lecture, in the previous lecture we have seen the consequences of high specific heat capacity of water and some other practical daily applications of the high specific heat capacity. And in the last lecture, in the previous lecture, I said that I told you that I will solve the practice problem of 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 in the next lecture. So here the lecture I will solve today of solution. I will solve the practice problem 8, 9, 10 and 11 and 12 and each question, one question from every practice problem, and I'll wait for from your side that if you're facing any problem that I'll solve further then. So for that numerical solution, let's see. So here we are starting the chapter 4 practice problem 8 question number 2 of unit 1. So see the question. A piece of brass of mass 200 gram and at 100 degrees Celsius is placed in a 400 gram of turpentine oil contained in a copper calorimeter, mass 50 gram. So as I said, whenever the value of mass of calorimeter will be given, so at that time you will consider this is the third substance. Okay, if the mass is not given, means you have to only consider the two substances only. But if the mass of calorimeter or copper it is given, that means the third substance is also given. So, and that is at temperature 15 degrees Celsius. The final temperature recorded is 23 degrees Celsius. Find the specific heat capacity of turpentine oil. This is the substance of which we have to calculate the specific heat capacity. So specific heat capacity of brass given and copper means what? Calorimeter it is given. So first of all, I'm drawing the columns. In this solution there will be 3 columns. First for brass, second for oil and third for calorimeter. Let's draw. So see here I have drawn the table. So in this table the 3 substances, brass, turpentine oil and the copper calorimeter, I have written in the short form. Now let's talk about the masses. The brass of mass 200 gram. So brass of mass 200 gram. Now specific heat capacity of brass. So see it is given in kilogram. So what I have to do when you are going to solve, either you have to convert this gram into kilogram or this kilogram to gram. Okay, remember this. This is in gram and this one is in kilogram. So 370 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. At the time of solution we will change it. And initial temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's talk about oil now. It's placed in 400 gram of turpentine oil, means mass of this is 400 gram. Okay. Then we have to find the specific heat capacity of turpentine oil. So I'm writing here a small c. And initial temperature of the turpentine oil, see here, turpentine oil contained in a copper calorimeter of mass 50 gram at 15 degrees Celsius. So I'm drawing a diagram. See here, see this is suppose a copper calorimeter in which turpentine oil is there. So the calorimeter is at 15 degrees Celsius. This one is at 15 degrees Celsius. So what is in there? Oil. So oil will be also at 15 degrees Celsius. I have already informed the calorimeter and the substance contained in the calorimeter. Both will have same temperature. That is why it is given about only one. So we can say that oil which is contained in the calorimeter will be having the initial temperature 15 degrees Celsius. Then let's talk about the copper. Copper of mass 50 gram. Copper means calorimeter 50 gram. Whose specific heat capacity, see here, this is also given in kilogram. So either you have to convert into kilogram or this to into gram. So first of all I'm writing in whatever given, 390 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And initial temperature I said both will have same temperature. The oil is inside the copper, so 15 degrees Celsius also. Final temperature recorded 23 degrees Celsius. I told you this is not column for the final temperature, this is position 23 degrees Celsius. Now this one brass is going from 100 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius, means it is falling its temperature. So theta f is equal to 100 minus 23, 100 minus 23, how much it will give? The 77, I think 77 degrees Celsius. Now theta, this is going from 15 to 23, means rising. So 23 minus 15, how much? 8 degrees Celsius, I think 8 degrees Celsius, and both of them are containing the same substance, so contain the calorimeter, so the theta rise will also be same here. 23, see here, and 15 minus 15, 8 degrees Celsius. So now the important thing you have to understand, who is giving heat and who is taking heat. You can see here the brass at 100 degrees Celsius is moving to 23 degrees Celsius, means it is falling its temperature, means this substance brass is giving heat, and these two are rising their temperature from 15 to 23, so it means they are taking heat energy. So I'm going to write the principle of calorimetry. I'm not writing the words, you have to write that. By the principle of calorimetry, heat given is equal to heat absorbed. I will write in short form. See here, I have written heat given out by brass, only one substance there which is giving heat, is equal to heat absorbed by oil, turpentine oil, plus heat absorbed by the copper calorimeter. When you will write in the examination, you will write in complete sentence. I have written the short form to save the time. So let's write the heat given by the brass, means mc theta fall, and for this mc theta r and this mc theta, I will write in direct the values. So let's write here about the brass, 200 gram. Now you can see here I have converted this gram into kilogram, this gram into kilogram, and this gram into kilogram to make the same unit of specific heat capacity and mass. Now let's solve this. On further solving, this will give 5698. This is 3.2 specific heat capacity plus 156. So you have seen the value of specific heat capacity. So what will be the unit? See here, the unit of energy is in joule, so we can write easily joule per gram or kilogram. So you have seen I have converted at every place into kilogram, so we will write directly joule per kilogram. And the temperature change is common, you can write in degrees Celsius or Kelvin also. So I am writing in degrees Celsius. So this is the answer for the practice problem 8, question number 2. Now see the next practice problem 9. This is the little bit different type of question in which we have to calculate the thermal capacity, but according to the given values, it's a little bit difficult to understand. So listen carefully how to solve this type of question. A copper vessel, see practice problem 9, chapter 4, same unit. Copper vessel contains 200 gram of water at 24 degrees Celsius. When 112 gram of water at 42 degrees Celsius is added, it means in the copper calorimeter this amount of water at this temperature is already there, and we are adding this amount of water, means 112 gram, from external. So how to differentiate? Both of them are water. We will say this one 24 degrees Celsius and this one is 42. So we will say this one is cold water and this one is as a hot water. Now see, for the resultant temperature of water is 30 degrees Celsius. Calculate the thermal capacity of the calorimeter. To solve this type of question, first of all I am going to draw the table and then see. So see here, this chapter 4 PP9 question 1 solution. Substance I have mentioned hot water and cold water. See here 112 at 40 degrees Celsius, 112 grams. So hot water is 112 gram at 42 degrees Celsius. Since it's a water, so it will be having 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius specific heat capacity. Then cold water 200 gram at 24 degrees Celsius. We will write here 200 gram at 24 degrees Celsius, but it is also water, same 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius. So again the resultant temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. So the final temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. So what we will write here, this one is hot water, so it will fall its temperature, and theta rise it will be here. So this is going from 42 to 30, so you will say 42 minus 30 is equal to 12 degrees Celsius, and theta rise from 24 to 30 means 30 minus 24, that is equal to 6 degrees Celsius. And so then see here, calculate the thermal capacity of the calorimeter, means the third substance. It's talking about the third substance. So let's increase one more column, that copper calorimeter. I am writing in short only copper. Mass of the copper calorimeter is not given, so write here M. C also not given, write here C. And as I said, this copper vessel contains 200 grams of water at 24 degrees Celsius. So whatever the amount of calorie in the tube is there, whatever the temperature of water in the tube, so same temperature of the calorimeter also. So this calorimeter will have same initial temperature. It was containing the cold water, and its theta rise will be same from 30 to 24, means 6 degrees Celsius. So what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the thermal capacity. See here the question, calculate the thermal capacity. Thermal capacity means C dash. So there is nothing about C dash here, but we know that C dash is equal to M into specific heat capacity, if you remember. So in case suppose this M and C not given, so we can calculate them together. If suppose the product of N and C we can calculate, that means the C dash. Let's calculate. So from this it is clear that the heat is given by this hot water, because this is only which is having the fall in temperature, and rest of both they are rising their temperature, means they are taking the heat energy. So I have written in short, you have to write full by the principle of chemistry and blah blah. So heat given is equal to heat absorbed. Who is given heat? Hot water. Let's write that using MC theta, mass, specific heat capacity, and the falling temperature. And who is absorbing? The cold water and the copper, both are absorbing. So let's see here what I have written. The mass, specific capacity, and the rise in temperature, plus for the calorimeter, mass not given, specific capacity not given, but the rise in temperature is given. So I'm going to solve this. See, on solving this, this comes 5644.8 is equal to, this comes 5040 plus 6 into MC. This mass into specific heat capacity, we can replace this with C dash, the heat capacity. In the next line I will use this instead of, in place of M into C. So let's see. So C dash is equal to 604.8 by 6. It comes 100.8. What about the unit? So specific heat capacity at the unit joule per kilogram per joule per gram per degree Celsius. So C dash is also having the unit joule, because see here the unit is given joule per gram, but we will not write per gram because it's a heat capacity. It is independent of mass. Divide by remaining part is degree Celsius. So this is the solution of the question for practice problem 9 chapter 4 question 1. Now see practice problem 10. I'm going to solve in this question too, because it's to find the ratio, and same is given in the example also. So you can, I think, do that. I'm going to solve the question number 2. So listen what says. You are required to make a water bath, means you are going to have a bath. 50 kg means you will take water of mass 50 kg, but 50 kg at 45 degrees Celsius by mixing hot water at 90 degrees Celsius, cold water at 20 degrees Celsius. Means you have two different amount of waters. One of 90 degrees Celsius means very hot, and second 20 degrees Celsius very cold. You have to mix both of them. This water at 90 degrees Celsius and this water at 20 degrees Celsius, both of waters you have to mix to make a bath, means to make the final temperature at 45 degrees Celsius. And the amount must be total 50 kg, means you are allowed to take water 50 kg total, mixing this amount and this amount. So how to, means question is calculate the amount of hot water. This amount 90 degrees Celsius water, what amount of water this will be, and you can also calculate the amount of water at which is cold. So here it is written clearly in the hint. Let the amount of hot water be x and the amount of cold water will be 50 minus x. If this one is x, so this will be 50 minus x. So let's see. So chapter 4 PP 10 question 2 unit 1. Heat given is equal to heat absorbed. I have written in short, but you will write full. That heat given by the hot water is equal to heat absorbed by the cold water. So see the amount of hot water x, specific heat capacity we can take it, and the hot water from 90 degree falls to 45. You can draw a column also, the table you can draw also, but I have written in this form. But I think that was better in drawing this into that form. If you want to do this question again, so you must draw the table, then you have to solve. Second, heat absorbed by cold water, how much? 50 minus x multiplied by same specific heat capacity into the cold water is rising from, see here, 20 to 45. So this will be what? 45 minus 20. Never write negative sign for temperature. Okay. So this 4200 and this 4200 will be cancelled. What remains? X 90 minus 45 is equal to 50 minus x, 45 minus 20. This is the remaining. So I'm going to subtract. So x into 45, 50 minus x, this comes 25 now. So by 5 you can say 5 9 are 45 and 5 5s are 25. Now open that. So you can see 9x is equal to 5 multiplied by this 250 and 5x. 14x is equal to 250 or x is equal to 250 by 14. So x gives 17.87857. So you must know that this is the amount of water. All the waters was having unit kg, so this will be also in kg. This is the for hot water. This is the amount of hot water. You can also calculate the amount of cold water, but in the question only it is asked about the hot water. Now see practice problem 11, question 1. Heat energy is given to 100 gram of water such that its temperature rises by, means it is given direct, 10 Kelvin, when same amount of energy is given to liquid elements. The amount of energy was given to this water and the same amount of is going to give to this liquid L of mass 50 gram, temperature rises by 50 kg. Calculate the heat energy given to water, means don't talk about this part, only we will talk about this part. Heat energy given to 100 gram of water such that its temperature rises by 10 K, and calculate heat energy given to water by the equation H is equal to mc theta. So I have written mass 100 gram, theta rise 10 K, and specific heat capacity we can take because it's a water, so and also in gram, so we can take 4.2 joule per gram per Kelvin. Don't means we are not have to worry about this because it's a difference, it's also a difference. So let's calculate heat energy. So H comes 4200 and the unit will be, mass is cancelled, temperature cancelled, what is remaining? Joule. So heat energy always has unit joule. Now let's see the next part. Next part says the specific heat capacity of the liquid, means talking this part only. Now heat energy is given, same amount of heat energy given to the liquid of mass 50. I'm talking about the liquid now. Let's write first. So see here, mass of the liquid was 50 gram, theta rise of liquid 50 K, and specific heat capacity of liquid we have to calculate. The heat is given to the same. So this amount of heat energy we will take. Let's write the equation. Then C is equal to or C is equal to 1.68. Let's write the unit. The energy was in joule, so joule upon mass was in gram, and the temperature was in Kelvin, so it becomes joule per gram per Kelvin. And if you write into the SI unit, so you have to multiply with, just only to convert gram to kilogram, multiply with 1000, so it will be 1680 joule. Then now this will be kilogram and per Kelvin, the specific heat capacity of the liquid. So this is question 11, practice problem 11, question 1. See the last question of this unit, chapter 4, pp 12, question number 2, unit 1, says that a waterfall is 1.5 kilometer high. If the temperature of water at its bottom is at its top is 20 degrees Celsius, find the temperature at its bottom. Means from the waterfall, suppose this is the waterfall, here the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. At the bottom here, what will be temperature? Okay, it is clear that one more line, wait for that. If total kinetic energy here is converts to the heat energy here, means kinetic energy of water is changing to the heat energy given in the question. So it is clear that if the energy is changing in the form of heat energy, means the temperature will rise. So this will be little bit more. So I'm taking this as T. Clear? So amount of heat energy here and the amount of heat energy will be changed to there. Let's calculate. So see here, loss of energy at top to bottom, means loss of energy in the form of this, is equal to the increase in energy in the form of heat. So which form of loss is here? In the form of potential energy. So let's calculate the potential energy here. And this potential energy is changing to in the form of heat energy, that is mc theta. You can see the mass is same, so m is cancelled. So asking about the theta rise, let's calculate that. As m is cancelled, so theta r will be equal to gh upon c, specific capacity. Let's fill the value. See here the value of G10 given the question, the value of height 1.5 kilometers, so I have converted into meter, and 4200 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. So this is, let's calculate further. On solving this, we will get theta rise 3.57, means from top to bottom this is the theta rise. So you can say that if this is 20 degrees Celsius, rise is of 3.57, so here it will be 23. Let's write that. So see here, theta rise means final minus initial is equal to 3.57 as it is here. So initial was 20, so final minus initial 3.57, it will go that side, 20 plus 3.57, total becomes 23.57 Kelvin. This is the temperature at the bottom, and this is the answer in the book which is given incorrect. The correct answer is this. Same for the question number 1 also, the answer is incorrect. So here we are ending this session after completing the practice problems of this unit. We are completing this unit. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the change in state, the substance for example melting, freezing, boiling, evaporation. So these type of phases and changing in state we will see, and depending on that some numericals and many topics are there. We will see in the next lecture. Till then, take care, be safe, and thank you again.